Recording in progress.
Empiezo a conectar. Va.
Va. Wow. Connect.
Hola, hola a todos, muchachos. Muy buenos días. Gracias a todos por conectarse a esta conferencia de prensa virtual, chicos. Ya saben la dinámica, se graba y posteriormente se les comparte el material y quien guste preguntar a través del chat va solicitando la palabra. El día de hoy mi compañero Jairo Valencia, para quien no lo conozca, nos va a ayudar con todo este tema de la conferencia, llevar la traducción. También a los medios, preferencia, si gustan hacer sus preguntas en inglés, para que sea esto más rápido y también el tiempo no nos coma. Y Jairo también, si requieren, les va a apoyar un poco en el tema de la traducción. Y pues ya la respuesta, pues ya les compartiremos el video para que ustedes ahí hagan también su respectiva traducción, ¿vale? Muchachos, pues gracias a todos por conectarse. Aquí los dejamos con la gente de Royal Republic que vienen al Vive Latino. Jairo, te dejo aquí todo para que tú empieces. Gracias a todos, chicos.
Gracias, Rafa. Hi, everyone. So we're here with Royal Republic. All the members of the band are here with us. We have Adam Gran, guitarist, Per Andresson in battery and drums, Hannes Irengard on guitar, and Jonas Almen on the bass. If any of the media have any questions, we're going to open the space for that in a couple of minutes. But before that, guys, Royal Republic, are you ready? Do you have any message for the media before we start with Q&A?
Oh, fire away.
Okay,
All happy to be here.
Okay, so the band is very happy to be here. We have nothing else to add. Media, are you ready? You can raise your hand on the chat and any questions will be asked. If you need any translation, I'll be doing it. So please, let's just start.
Ahí estamos con Arnulfo. Mi querido Arnulfo, adelante con tu pregunta, amigo.
Gracias, Rafa. Muy buenos días. Gracias. Muy buenos días, Jairo. How you doing? How you been? How are you?
I think we're like as usual, just waiting for the fucking sun to come back in our lives. This time around in Sweden, every year is pretty much just darkness. Like we're nearing the end of darkness now. It starts pretty much in October and it goes until end of March. So we can't fucking wait to go get over to you guys and get some sun. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good to see
Hopefully.
you. Okay, I hope so. Me too. So I have one question. So how much information do you have about the Vive Latino Fest and about Latin American music, especially rock music? So I'm listening.
Anybody?
Not too much, unfortunately. But I guess there will be that will be changed after next week, I suppose. I mean, we're going to this kick-ass festival. That's what we hear, and I assume there will be lots and lots of great Mexican artists and musicians there that we can get familiar with. So looking forward to that.
So that's my last question. And how much the influence do bands like the Hypes, Refuse, Millencolin, and many more have?
I guess there are a number of bands in not only Sweden but Scandinavia. I would say that paved the way for a lot of Swedish bands, like mainly abroad, like outside of Sweden, in Europe, in Latin America, in North America, even Australia and Asia as well. Like you said, the Hives, Refused, Backyard Babies, Helicopters, like Lucifer, Turbo Negro, all these kinds of bands really paved the way for the live bands, the live rock band scene, kind of, and showed that it's possible to do that thing. Still is. Not only was it possible in the 80s or 90s or 2000s, but it's possible now, which was really cool for a band like us, to have those role models, so to say, pave the way and show the way. And now it's our turn. And we worked for 15 years in Europe, and we built the band, and we have, it's a pretty good gig right now. It's a really cool time to be in Royal Republic. So really excited to try something new and see some new places and get to Mexico.
Okay, right on. Thank you so much. I see you soon on Vive Latino 25 years and 2025. See you soon and rock on. See you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Arnulfo. Thank you for your question, Arnulfo. Next, we have Oliver from Weird.
Hi, how you doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Good. How are
Great.
you?
I'm fine, thank you. Great. Um,
Good.
in your new album, Lab Cup, I noticed an even more diverse sound. What did you want to explore in this new production, and how has your musical approach evolved?
I think,
I mean,
sorry, Hannes, you go.
uh, we've been exploring since day one, pretty much, and we're still exploring. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future might bring?
We should
But
actually change the name of the band to like Explorers or something. It would be pretty
it would be
cool.
way more suitable, like crystal clear from the get-go.
Okay.
I think we're all kids of the 80s. And we started out with a pretty narrow sound palette, if you know what I mean. Like you have a four-piece band, two guitars, bass, drums, and that's how we wrote the songs with, playing it, performing it on stage, being, in mind a lot, that we didn't really take the production any further than that. And as we matured as a band, the music, I think, and the sound matured, and we grew into sounding more like us than our influences, if you know what I mean. And if a song needs a sound to be great, then we're gonna go for that sound. We're not gonna be stopped by genre boundaries or rules like in rock or in garage rock or disco rock or this or that. We don't give a shit about the labels. We want to make good music, and we're gonna stop at nothing to get there, in our own opinion.
Okay, yeah, it's a great album.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Your live performances are very energetic and dynamic. Do you have any memorable stories from a particular show?
Sorry, any memorable?
Stories. I think I think whenever we go places where we haven't been before, it sort of sets up the whole memorable thing. So we're really excited to come to Mexico, to come to Latin America and play a new part of the world because we don't know what's going to happen, and that's setting the stage for something new and
Yeah,
something fun.
yeah, it's scary and exciting at the same time.
Right. New stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
Innovation.
Okay. Um, what are the latest vinyl records you have bought recently? And is there any that have surprised or inspired you in some way?
Just go to my vinyl shelf. I don't know.
I was gonna do the same. So this is the first one that this is actually this was on top of my vinyl thingy here. You see it? No, just a gigolo.
Wow.
Where is it?
So
There we
that's
go.
the original soundtrack from Just a Gigolo, featuring Village People, Marlene Dietrich, and the Manhattan Transfer. And then we have Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. Good stuff, right?
Okay.
Well,
But it's
let's see if the other guys recognize this one.
I can see it.
Blur.
It's pretty
Ah,
blurry.
Here we go. Focus.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, but it's a vinyl actually from a great French act called Kokomo, and they were supporting us. What is it, like 2 years ago? And it was a really fun tour. Great music, great entertainment. You should invite them to Mexico as well.
What about you, Adam? I couldn't see your
No, I actually
vinyls.
grabbed the first five in my shelf here. I kind of last thing I did was I restocked some stuff that I mean I've known these records forever or since 2002 respectively five. It's a Norwegian band called Glucifer. I don't know if you can see me right now because I can't see myself, but this one's called Automatic Thrill and this one's called Basement Apes. They're both Glucifer albums, two of the greatest rock albums that I know of. That I was like heavily into these when I formed the band. Also, this one came up off the top here. It's I don't know if you know this woman. It's Tina Turner.
Okay.
She's dead now, but you can still listen to the music. It still rocks. Um, Love this album. Love Tina Turner. Awesome girl. And
I
Donna
love her
Summer.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Girls. And Test Press of Love Cop. Those are the closest five I could reach for.
Wow.
Yeah.
My vinyl collection is on the other side of my mansion, so I only have this.
Okay.
Oh, that's an amazing one. Ooh.
It's a great vinyl record.
I hear it
Show
sounds just
the
like the
man.
Hives.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. If you had to describe your music in 3 words to someone who has never heard it before, what would they be?
I think this is an interesting question. Who the hell doesn't have access to like some sort of streaming service these days? Do you actually have to describe it in 3 words? Couldn't they just like go blip? They could like hear it in 2 clicks.
Okay.
Chat
Thank you.
GPT.
Uh, okay. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Oliver.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Send you
Oliver.
hugs
And
and
next we have
greetings.
Jorge Santamaria from Excelsior.
Okay. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. Well, guys, it's interesting that bands like you, that the Hypes, Ghost, Millencolin, as my colleague said, are more popular outside of Sweden than into your own country. How do you explain this phenomenon? Do you see it as a blessing or a surprise?
I see it as a little bit of both, to be honest. I'm very, very happy. I think all of us are. None of us went into this for fame. I think I have to speak for everybody when I say we don't want to be famous people. We would love to be a famous band, you know what I mean? But I really enjoy being able to go to the grocery store and most of the time, nobody like following me around or take pictures and stuff. You know, we get to take the occasional pictures and sign some stuff, and you know, mostly people come up and say, "Hey, I love your music," and they were just happy, and that's fine. But I think it's a blessing to have like your own backyard where you can just be and hang.
Do you guys have another opinion? The rest of the guys?
No,
No,
I couldn't agree
no,
more. But
Yeah.
but the other thing is like you mentioned, the other question, like how come we're not making it bigger in Sweden? That's like people keep asking us this question, and we've been thinking about it as well, and I still don't have like a good answer. Honestly, as soon as I know, I will let you guys know, because I still haven't figured it out.
But it's still like
Yeah.
you see the bands like again I said there you know a lot of Swedish bands go abroad and make it abroad in Europe and in other elsewhere in the world. I think basically due to the fact that we don't have as many places to play being live bands. You know, we used to maybe in the 90s or 2000s. There were a lot of festivals still going strong, and rock music was still kind of part of the pop culture, I guess. Now it's very much. I mean, just since we started, how many clubs were there when we started out? There were so many clubs all over this town only in Malmö, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We played the majority of them. We played like, 10 places or so in this city only. And now there's like 1 or 2 places to play full
Most of
stop.
them are gone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it was the same all over Sweden, same with festivals. So for live bands who built their reputation and their image and their platform by performing on stage, it's become a more narrow market, if you know what I mean. Like so many bands fight for so few spots. And I think that has a lot to do with it. So alive, where live music is alive and well in other parts of the world, other parts of Europe, that's where those kinds of bands can thrive and,
Yeah.
make a name for themselves, like we've done, like a lot of bands have done.
Okay, yeah, guys, you recently said that you try to stay out of the box of any label, and some music journalists or some critics say that you are like a kind of classic rock with some hypes energy. How you deal with all these labels, and what is the label? What is the most strange label that maybe media have say to you?
I
Well,
think
I mean,
somebody. All right, go ahead.
first of all, it's never been like we're intentionally trying to stay out of any box or any labels. It's more a matter of us doing whatever we feel like doing. So it's pretty much the other way around.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I think it's more other people. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
I think at the beginning it was we didn't have much of our own thing. We didn't really have we set out to sound like a bunch of bands, and then it was more painful when people compared us to those bands because we knew we didn't have our own identity yet. But nowadays, I feel like we have our own identity, and when somebody compares us to the Hives, I love the Hives, but I feel like we definitely have matured into our own thing, even though we're eclectic and we draw influences from, we're influenced by a large variety of music. I still think we have our own thing now and our own sort of color palette that we use. So it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
If anything, I would just like shrug it off as being, you still hear people go like, I remember seeing when we released My House from the last time, somebody's like, oh, it's the Hives straight up. I was like, that's just really lazy journalism. That is just like somebody who's not doing their job. I honestly, I think we're grown up enough to know I don't care. It's whatever. Do whatever you want.
Okay, guys, the last question. Well, who is the love cop into the band, and what is the love crime that you never permit in a relationship with a girlfriend or into a friendship?
Love crime? Sorry?
Yeah. What is the love crime that you never permit into a relationship? Who is the love
Wow,
cop into the band?
That's deep.
That's really deep.
Love
Uncomfortably.
crime.
I have to think about my entire relationship and life now.
Maybe we should put on.
I
no, I guess that's why we outsourced Love Cop to be a fictional person, so nobody,
Yeah.
none had to think about it.
Go, Jonas.
Okay.
I guess everybody tries to, or at least I try to not get my relationship boring. Keep it interesting.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. Next, we have Jair Perdomo from Grita Radio. Take it away, please.
Gracias, Jairo. Hello, guys. How do you feel today?
Pretty
Very
good, thank
Very
you.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a big pleasure to be in here. First question, at least a little question. Will this be your first time playing in Mexico?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Ah, sorry. My first question is, will this be your first time playing live in Mexico?
It will most
yes.
certainly be our first time playing in
Very-
Mexico, in Latin
Not
America
only
altogether.
playing in Mexico, none of us have been to Mexico at all.
No.
So we're very, very much excited about this whole trip. Not only playing music, but I mean the whole experience is going to be great. Hopefully.
Ooh, amazing. And according to this answer, my next question is, what are the challenge for Royal Republic when performing at a music festival, even more in a first time in a music festival in Mexico in general?
I think
think
this is exactly the kind of situation that we've always loved being in. Like going somewhere for the first time and playing to an audience that maybe nowadays there are a little more expectations, but it used to be like you go up on a big stage in front of a lot of people and nobody really knows who you are. So there are no expectations and you gotta prove yourself to people. And at least me, I think all of us have this like sporty attitude to it that we like the challenge. We love the challenge, in fact. So whenever that opportunity presents itself, I think we're all excited and happy. So
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah,
really see
and
any problem. Yeah.
And honestly, if there's one thing we're extremely good at, it's winning people over. So I think it'll be all right. Maybe I said too much.
Wow.
Wow, that's very, very honest of you.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Very Swedish. Very Swedish.
I'm concerned about the heat.
Yes.
Main concern.
Well, that's a follow of my part. Thank you so much for the answers, and we waiting for in the March 15, right? March 15.
Yeah, it's next
Something
week.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Holy shit.
Muchas
you.
gracias, Jairo. Muchísimas gracias.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you. Cheers,
Jair.
man.
Okay, so next we have Samuel Pliego from Los Festivalers.
Hi guys,
Yo,
it's
Hey,
an honor being here with you.
likewise. Cheers.
My first question is about your name. The name Royal Republic has always been a bit of mystery. It's a mix of reality and democracy, or is there something deeper behind the choice?
We it's a hard thing to talk about for us because there's no really cool story. The real and true and boring story is that when we started the band and we got our first gig and we were like, okay, we need a band name now. And for some reason we didn't we knew we didn't want to be like a trashy industrial rock and roll band. We didn't want to stand in front of a dumpster or be angry or anything. We wanted to have more of a red carpet kind of vibe. So thereby the royal ball started spinning like, okay, royalty, blah, 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 blah. So we had three names, three options on the table. One was King Average. The second one was Club Majesty. And the third one was Royal Republic. And we went with the latter, obviously. And then we released an album called Club Majesty. So I guess the next album, we still have an album called King Average to write. If we're gonna
Yeah,
set the
King
record
Average
straight.
sounds amazing.
Really? He sounds like a boring person.
And my last question is, you got an amazing connection with your audience at live shows. What the most unexpected reaction you ever had from the fans at concert? Any moments that really stand out as unforgettable or epic?
I mean, there are too many to mention at this point. We've had everything from when we had our first headline show abroad. Like I think it was in Germany or Paris or I can't remember. But at the time, it was like your mind just explodes and your heart melts and you know there was a lot of dreams that just came true one after another, and then you make new dreams and new goals and you sell out your first show. You have a first sold out tour. You have a song on the radio. All these things. And since then, I mean, last summer we played one of the biggest festival stages we ever played. I think it was 150,000 people in the audience in attendance, and that was insane. And I remember, like, as far as audiences go, there's always one or two people that just go to the front and just fucking stare at you and just look pissed the whole time and just shake their heads. And out of 150,000 people, that's the guy I can't fucking stop looking at. You know what I mean? Uh, it's an interesting thing. I would love to know what those people are. What's the thing? I don't know. I can't get
They're
over
doing there.
He's sitting here on this meeting now, and he's like, "Yes,
it.
I did it."
I got through. All right.
And it's
God,
and
is
it's
it?
funny because they actually make an effort because I mean they're always front row, which is an effort in itself. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting. We need to get a hold of one of those guys.
The next time we
Yeah.
see one, we need to like get security to like grab him, put like a hood on, and like get him into a dark van, and then we like question him after.
Give him a beer.
Yeah. Hey man, what's going on with you? Here.
Excellent, guys. I don't know. It's an honor being here with you, and we will see you at Vive Latino.
Cool.
Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah.
Gracias,
Yeah.
Jairo.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks,
Yes.
man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Now next we have Antonio Garcia from El Parlante.
Thanks, Jairo. Thanks, Rafa. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hello.
What's up?
First of all, congratulations on your performance at the Vive Latino Festival. I also want to congratulate you on your album Love Cup, released in June last year. Your album
Thank
Love
you.
Cup blends the energy of hard rock with the festive spirits of 70s and 80s disco music. How did you manage to balance these genres to create a sound that is both nostalgic and contemporary?
Oh, it's just really easy. Like, no problem. No, I think it's honestly, it's like when we write songs, it's a bit like IKEA furniture. I don't know if you have IKEA in Mexico. You got IKEA? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Um, it's it starts with fun. It has to be fun. We don't think business about our music. Um, I guess I don't know. Somebody jump in. Help.
I think like 2 weeks before we were set to go into the studio, we had a meeting that was like, okay, what the hell do we do? We have these songs and they're all pointing in different directions. Uh, and then somehow when we play them together, they sort of mold into us, and we had a really good help from the producer Michael Lilbert and Adam. And I guess that's how it came together in the end. Somehow it came together.
Okay, guys. After more than a decade of career, how has the creative dynamic between the band members evolved, and in what way is this evolution reflect in your current music?
I think on a personal level, I think we're better than ever, so to say.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we all know each other really, really well now. When we started the band, we didn't. And we've also evolved, obviously, over almost 15 years of knowing each other. You know, people change in different directions, and you know, life takes you on trips that you wished for and didn't wish for. And yeah, we've been through 15 years together, and the main thing that we have in common is this band thing, which you don't have in common with other people that they could never really understand. So having these three guys around is really, really cool. It becomes cooler for every year, if you ask me. And that
Agree.
makes it that's just made it more and more comfortable also being in the band, that we have this understanding for one another, and everybody knows their role and their place. And yeah, I think it's helping us write better music, hopefully, and be a better band.
Definitely. And it is a weird situation when you think about it, because like Adam said, we didn't know each other before the band. So we started the band, and then we were just thrown into this roller coaster pretty much straight away. We started touring straight away. We released an album straight away and all that stuff. So it's kind of a weird way of getting to know another person. So it's not, now that I think about it, it's not surprising that it took like 15 years before we got reached the point where like, yeah.
No, but it's kind of weird. It's almost like one of those, like, you know, people get married at first sight television shows where, you know, they just meet and they
That's exactly, yeah.
you know, okay, we're married now. We got to make it work. And we actually made
That's
it
true.
work.
Yeah.
We did.
It's
Okay.
like a second family, you could call it.
Yeah, of course. And finally, your music has been described as a musical candy that instantly lifts the spirit. How do you handle the responsibility of being a source of positive energy for your fans, especially in difficult times?
I just have a lot of candy. Uh, no, I think it's a collective effort, really. I think we, not only the band, but also, like, speaking of touring, we surround ourselves with people that we're really comfortable and compatible with. It's a really good group of people to travel the world with. We help each other get spirits up. Of course, we've been in situations that you know, where when shit happens in the world that is well, stuff that really just sucks and terrible things happen, and we still have to put on a show the same evening, and it's not always easy being in that, you know, frame of mind or in that spirit, as you say, but that's our place. That's the job that we have been given, or the job that we have taken, and the job that we're good at, and the job that we love doing. I think it's become the most addictive thing in the world for us to make people happy. It's a highly addictive thing, and I think also that over the years we've found a worth in that, because I used to think that we were kind of worthless, just like going around and singing stupid songs. But then I've realized that we've brought comfort and joy and happiness to a lot of people, especially in recent years as we've grown older. I think they, you know, they show up at meet and greets and interviews and at the bus or on the street and just say, man, hey, your music helped me through tough times, or your show really turned it around for me. And I met my wife at your concert, or all of that stuff. We made friends through your music, and now, you know, so yeah, that all helps into making it really worthwhile. Love making people feel good.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you in Vive Latino. Heck though. See you.
Hey, då.
Hey,
Hej då!
sis.
Hej då! Nos vemos!
Thank you very much, Antonio. Next, we have Carlos Fiestas from Completa Disonancia.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, pretty good. Nice headphones.
Thanks. So, I was wondering, have you got any Mexican band to do you want to perform with right now?
Yeah, what? Let me just check. What were they called? I saw a Mexican band. I think they were.
All right.
Excuse me. Wait. Hasta Muerta. Jeez, what are they called? Vad fan hette de vi spelade med i
Yeah.
Tjeckien? På
Yeah,
Rock
that's
for
it,
People.
Adam. That's it.
Yeah,
All right.
but it's not the name of the band. It was the name of the song. I heard it. I just
Okay.
walked in. Wait a minute. I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry this takes a moment.
No
I should have
worries,
just
it's
checked
okay.
this out.
Yeah.
I have a picture with a guy hanging in like with a drummer. What was the band called? The song was called like Hasta la Muerta. And it was a thrash punk band from Mexico.
All
And
right,
it
all
was
right.
beautiful. And the singer was thrown out at the end of the evening from the festival because he was absolutely hammered. And I hung out with a drummer who had like big green spikes.
Yeah.
It was not Trey Cool, it was somebody else. Um okay, I'm gonna check that out. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no worries, it's okay.
yeah.
So, during these years, I mean, since maybe we are the Royal from now, have you known any Mexican people during this travel around the music, travel around the time? And what are you expecting from the Mexican people in the Viva Latino? I mean, the Viva Latino is the most Hispanic, is the biggest Hispanic festival in Latin America, and now it's expanding the horizons to Spain, and this this is a big stage, a really big stage. What are you expecting from the Mexican people?
Well, now you're getting me really excited here. I'm like, yeah. I think part of the charm is that we, like Hannes said earlier, we don't really know where we're heading. It's a brand new experience in many ways for us. And I think we're just open to anything, really. We know what we're doing, and I'm pretty sure, I hope, I hope people won't be disappointed. I don't think people will be disappointed when seeing us, regardless. Because
Oh,
I
if
think
there's one thing we do well, it's winning people over.
he says, humility
No,
himself.
actually, I was hearing about the Mexican people is knowing you most and most here in Mexico. It's the Mexican people is hearing your music, is knowing you, and this is a good thing for you. I mean, we need new bands, we need refreshing music, and um, Royal Republic is facing this in Viva Latino. So
Well, that's awesome. And that means it's a win-win kind of situation because
In-
this is very refreshing for us as well.
yeah,
I mean,
great.
again, we've never been to Mexico or Latin America, and I mean, we're very, very excited. And now I'm a little bit nervous too, since you mentioned how big the stage is and all of
Don't be
that. But
nervous. Don't be nervous on us. If it's one thing we know how to do, it's what? Win people
winning people over.
No, I think
So
it's cool because it's like in the past, people have been saying, you can expect this or you can expect that from audiences, around the globe and around when we open for certain bands. And I think we've learned that it's just, yeah, we can't really, it doesn't, we can just do our thing. That's all we can do. Don't try and
sure.
adapt and don't try to please differently just because you're opening for this band or opening for that band or
Mhm.
you're playing a festival that's largely metal people and you're playing a festival that's more pop. It's like, for some weird reason, we seem to work historically in all these things. We played Bloodstock, where it's just like, oh, you know, all the time, every band. And then there's us
Yeah.
like in the middle, like da, 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 da. And for some reason it works. It comes across. And the same in like pop situations where everybody's like, ooh, and then we come on like da, 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 and it still
Yeah.
works. So yeah, I have a high faith in that it will make it work this time as well. And looking
Great.
forward to doing so.
Great. So the last question is, are you coming to Mexico just to Vive Latino, or are you trying to spend some time in some places to know our culture, or are you ready for the Mexican food?
I'm so ready for the Mexican food.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the Mexican
Great.
food. I'm nervous about Montezuma's revenge, but you know, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
No, we
Do
don't
we?
have we have like a week, and most of it will be with interviews and promo, and so we don't have a lot of time. But we're gonna try to make the most of the time we do have, and
Great. Great.
Do you
go.
have like would you say that tacos and burritos and enchiladas are like a typical Mexican invention? Or is it
I mean, Mexico is not tacos and burritos. It's mole, some kind of soups, some kind of actually the coast food is very good itself. So you need to try a lot of things. You need to try far from tacos, far from burritos. You need to try more than that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we have our work
The
cut out for us.
the mole, in my personal opinion, you need to try the mole. All right.
Mole.
Mone,
Yep.
we will.
All right, guys. So thank you for your time. Hope
Cheers,
to
thank
see you
you.
on the Viva Latino, and I enjoy the rest of your interview.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Carlos. Now we have Miguel Angelino from Tu Portal Geek, please.
Sí, thank you, gracias. Hola, hi. I find
Hello.
I find you just mentioned it about fame interesting, and I would like to ask you, how is your connection with your fans, both in concerts and outside of them, maybe before your shows? Because here in Mexico, there are usually very passionate fans, the kind that wait for you at the airports or in hotels. So what is your connection with your fans, and do you have any expectation of Mexican fans?
Now we do. Now that you
Now
built
we
it up.
do.
It's
We're
like
gonna be so disappointed now when they're not at the
there's nobody at
airports.
the airport. Yeah. That sounds great. I mean, we've heard some rumors from friends playing overseas and so on, and also before we started touring around Europe, you heard things. Some of them true, some of them like I don't know. I mean, we're Swedish. We are the lamest kind of people. Like when we love something at concerts, even like the four of us, we're gonna stand in the background pretty much like if you see this head nod, that means we're fucking loving it. You know what I mean? So that's like the threshold. And I don't really mind. We've played all kinds of audiences and met all kinds of fans. Um, Most of them really nice, some of them scary, some of them, you know, there's been a little bit of everything. As long as they don't like show up at our houses and knock on our doors and stuff, I think it's all cool. And
I
that
think
has
we
happened, by the way.
Yeah, I think we like a very sort of normal relationship to our fans. We want to be able to say, "Hey, how you doing?" And no crazy, just very eye to eye is what we're going for here.
Okay, thank you very much. And I hope you can also have soon your own show in Mexico. Your music is frenetic and fun, so I think it's going to go very well for you, and you're going to love this country. You will love.
Cool.
I'm
Looking
sure we
forward to
will.
it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the question. And here on the chat, we have a comment saying that apparently the band Adam was talking about is Acides. So maybe
Yes,
that's the
así
one.
es.
Yeah. So that was the band. And we have
Well
another
done.
question from Jesus Tepepa. He asks, do you consider yourselves to be the snake dragon or the beowulf warrior in your music?
The
Excuse me?
naked dragon.
Yeah, he
Again,
says,
sorry.
do you consider yourselves to be the snake dragon or the beowulf warrior in your music? You know, from the mythology.
Oh, I heard naked dragon.
Here,
I was
Jonas.
Oh,
gonna be
I
the
don't
naked.
know.
Naked
I don't
dragon.
know
Beowulf.
my mythology that well, but I'd go for naked.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
Was it
Naked,
naked?
little
I thought it
fire.
said snake dragon.
yeah, snake
Okay.
dragon or a beowulf.
Oh, that's
What
even
a
better.
naked dragon. I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of unnaked dragons to begin with.
I
No
don't wear
scales.
clothes.
Like a nice shirt and shorts dragon.
Okay, that would be a sight to see. So
Yeah.
next, we have also in chat a couple of questions from Beth Cervantes. She asks, to what extent is Royal Republic's music an artistic provocation, and to what extent is it a response to the tedium of traditional rock?
Wow, that's very well articulated. I don't know half of those words.
Um,
Did you say provocative? No.
Yeah, an artistic provocation. And to what extent is it a response to the tedium of classic or traditional rock?
Huh?
yeah, I think we're gonna go with option number two. I think we're not really a provocative. Provocation is not our thing. Although if management tells us to do one thing, we're likely going to go the other way completely.
Some people
Uh,
would call that provocative. Some managers might call that provocative.
Our manager would call that provocative.
Provocation towards management.
Yeah.
Of course,
I think
we try to stay away from the classic, like whenever something sounds too much like in the box, it usually doesn't turn us on that much.
which we
But
still don't know to this day if that's a good thing for us or a bad thing. Like career-wise, if you count numbers.
yeah, I think we could have done a lot better if we would have just stayed in the fucking box. But you know,
Stay in the fucking lane. Well,
excellent question. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so she also asks she asks, how do you avoid becoming a kind of a parody of yourselves while playing with the limits of theatricality on stage?
I think it's a fine line, to be honest, because there is this line, there's an element of humor in the things that we do, and I think it's uh part of being Swedish that the Swedish mentality growing up that you don't take yourself too seriously in some way. You know what I mean? Um, I think I think it has served us, and it's been something that's maybe held us back a little bit. We never really fully went 100% serious and cool, really, until maybe recently when we did a song called Laser Love, which was the most humorless maybe song. One of the most humorless songs that we've done, or and straight up, just honest and raw. Um,
I
I think,
also think what
yeah, go ahead.
I also think what keeps us away from not being a parody of ourselves is that who we are on stage, what we do, what we say on stage, most of it happened organically. It wasn't like we a lot of stuff happened without any sort of planning, you know. So even though we might do, repeat stuff and do it the same night, same thing twice, it happened organically from the very start, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Like if this was only like if this was a show, a rehearsed show from the very start, and we were playing roles, I think we wouldn't have made it this far. I know we would have been sick of ourselves at least.
Okay, guys, so we've come to the end of the conference, but before we say goodbye to everyone, is there anything you'd like to add to the media outlets that are here with us today?
Maybe just thank you all for taking the time then to hang out with us for a little bit here. It's a pleasure answering some of your questions, and we hope to answer more of them when we have the time, when we get over there. And obviously, we can't wait to perform for you because, like, we can only talk so far, and then the rest we have to kind of show you. I think the way to experience World Republic is about 5 meters in front of house. So make your ways there and write something nice after.
And we'll win you over.
Yeah, because that's what Hannes does.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. Everyone, Royal Republic will be performing on Saturday 15 at Vive Latino at Carpa Intolerante, 11:20 at night. So be there. And I guess we'll all be there watching you guys. Thank you so much for your time in this conference, and we'll see you in another OCESA conference soon. Goodbye.
See you
Cool.
guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Jairo. Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Gracias a todos, chicos.
Night.
Gracias.
Gracias. Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Your love is an amazing
Gracias,
song.
Rafa.
Gracias.